Anyways, you ever wondered what it's like to be a steering wheel? No? Well, here you go. Now, about that record-breaking snowstorm I mentioned earlier that I needed to drive my new truck through. It was actually one of my favorite parts of the trip. Pretty cool looking landscape. Felt like I was driving through another planet in a spaceship or something. Lots of snow blowing up against the vehicles and quite an alien looking environment. Especially with all the endless rows of giant dystopian windmills in the distance. Here's what that was like. Strong snowy winds blew against my truck like the rolling billboard that it is. It was quite surreal with this much open space, with all this perfectly uniform snow, overlooked by these giant windmills. It felt like I'm not in Kansas anymore, except that's exactly where I was. It was now time to experience the multitude of the magnificent sights and sounds the Kansas landscape had to offer, which turned out to be mostly incomprehensibly vast voids of flat nothingness and the occasional tractor, along with a generous amount of these giant windmills. Thankfully, this would not be the scenery for the entire remaining 20 hours of the trip.
And out of all those possibilities, just these things had to come together to make it work. Very improbable. What isn't, so that gets us to the out-of-body. What really is an out-of-body? An out-of-body is when you
After another gas station stop, I decided to get some food that wasn't either frozen or dried up in a box. And then I found a good deal on a hotel nearby and decided that I could get at least one day of good sleep and warm up for the rest of the drive. The room was plenty luxurious enough by my standards, much better than a frozen cab in the night, complete with the ability to hear the neighbors passionately chopping onions next door through the bathroom vent. They're so culinary.
Nice, long strokes.
Now that I had a room secured, I decided it would be a good idea to pay a visit to the gym to get yoked a little before bed. Wait a minute, what?
Don't drink the water. They put something in it to make you forget.
Washington. Wow, the fourth turnover. The fourth turnover of the day.
Is this what he's doing now?
No showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. No games. No fun.
Yes, Coach.
It's a big moment to purchase a vehicle from across the country to build it into an affordable form of mobile housing so that you can use it to travel full time. In order to immerse yourself in the world more, focus more on what you want to do rather than what you want to own, and remove ties to a singular location you have to return to, so that you have more time, money, and knowledge to dedicate to things that matter. That's my reasoning for making this trip overall, so that I can explore, live affordably, and learn about the world from more direct sources by meeting people, visiting places, and investigating topics, so that I know, and maybe you all know, what we should do to make the world a better place most effectively. The shop that checked out the truck before I started driving it back said that there was a small leak in the oil pan plug, but it seems like I still have plenty of oil and it's not too big of a deal right now. I decided to do a quick photo shoot by some cliff, and found that there was large icicles dropping spontaneously from the rock wall, so I spent a good while trying to capture some of the falling icicles the exact moment they fell. I also found this weird water flowing through the ice. It looks like a bunch of little worms, and I was trying to figure out what it was. Upon reaching my destination and successfully securing a four-wheel drive box truck to convert into a custom expedition vehicle, I introduced a little creature to the truck to make sure everything was in order. He thoroughly inspected the cargo and deemed the vehicle acceptable. One reason I'm choosing a box truck for this build is because it has a spacious and sturdy frame that will allow a very adaptable build. And now we conclude the expedition to buy the expedition truck. Now begins the build. But I consider the initial purchase to be one of the most difficult aspects of a project like this. I will now immediately begin taking the vehicle on some expeditions while I plan out and put it together into a purpose-built, handmade tiny home. I hope you will join me for these adventures as I try to give an authentic and immersive experience of the world and how I live differently, exploring the most interesting people, places, and ideas of our world, while trying to find ways to have an optimistic view of the future and document the ways that I think it is possible to live a more fulfilling, focused, and fun life while finding as many ways as possible to help others effectively and improve the world as I travel.